Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I got a bunch of Chicago Bulls news and rumors that I'm going to talk about. Also, I'm going to recap last night's game. Definitely leave a quick like on today's video for last night's W. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about last night's W and all the rumors that just came out. But nonetheless, last night was a great W. You know, I know the Nuggets have struggled with, I'd say, injuries this season, but that team is still very good, and this Bulls team is good as well. I mean, the Chicago Bulls were without Alex Caruso. I saw he's going to be out about a week. You know, DeMar tested positive for COVID or whatever. Javonte Green is also out with COVID. Same with Coby White, and obviously Patrick Williams is out as well. This was a just great overall game, just a complete game from the Chicago Bulls. I mean, Zach did everything on the court. He had 32, 8, and 3. Derrick Jones Jr. almost had a double-double. He played very solid. I know Vuce really struggled shooting from the floor, but I felt like he played really good. I mean, he still had 20 and 10. He's just a walking double-double. And I felt like he played really good defense on the Joker. You know, huge shout out to Ayo, you know, the Chicago hometown kid. You know, he did play 42 minutes. He played amazing in his first NBA start. He did have 11 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. Ayo has been playing great basketball, and if he continues to play this way, he's definitely going to make Coby White expendable for the Chicago Bulls. I plan to make a future video on that. Huge shout out to Lonzo as well. You know, with DeMar out this game, Lonzo stepped up. He dropped 24 and 10. He also played 40 minutes. Huge shout out to the bench mob as well. This was just a great overall W. You know, I saw the Bulls out-rebounded the Nuggets and they shot better. It was just a great all-around game. I'm really happy with all the guys and what I saw from last night's game. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about last night's game. So let's just jump right into the news and rumors that just came out, because a lot of them have came out and some in this video I can't even believe I'm going to be talking about. You know, just the other day, Chris B. Haynes from Yahoo Sports was talking about this whole subject, and let's be honest, you know, the Portland Trail Blazers have kind of been a mess to start this season. You know, there's been some head coach drama over there, and Damian Lillard just hasn't looked the same, which is really strange. He's really struggled from the field. And I know some Bulls fans might not know, but the Bulls did make a trade with the Blazers earlier this summer. And if the Portland Trail Blazers do make the playoffs, the Bulls do get their draft pick. So this is a big deal. And looking even deeper into that, the Portland Trail Blazers just fired their GM just the other day. And two candidates that are expected to receive strong consideration are the Chicago Bulls GM Marc Eversley and the New York Knicks GM Scott Perry. So this is just a mess down in Portland. You know, I honestly feel terrible for Damian Lillard. You know, he's too loyal to Portland, honestly. But nonetheless, I saw a bunch of Bulls fans on Twitter and Facebook just really, I'd say, overreacting and tweaking about this whole situation, and I don't blame them. You know, I don't want Marc Eversley to go. I felt like he just signed with the Chicago Bulls, and him and Arturas have done a great job turning this team around in, I'd say, pretty much a year, completely flipping this roster and just being a great front office. So obviously, I love Arturas and Marc. I want them both to stay. But it does make sense if Marc Eversley does want to leave Chicago. I mean, of course, Chicago's a way bigger market than Portland right now. But the likely position in Portland will be like GM / vice president of basketball operations like Arturas have. So he'd have final say in probably a pay raise. And obviously, he'd be, I'd say, higher up there. And these jobs don't come around often. So if he does leave, I don't blame him. But I honestly hope not. And then after this broke out, Joe Crowley did put out a tweet, and he said he was told that the whole Marc Eversley Portland talk is only speculation as of right now. And Joe did say that the GM is focused on making an impact with the Chicago Bulls before anything else. And this is great to hear. Obviously, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but I, of course, want Marc Eversley and Arturas to stay in Chicago. But nonetheless, if he does leave and I'd say get a promotion, I understand, you know. So definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about that whole situation. And the next topic in today's video is about DeMar DeRozan. You know, before the Nuggets game last night, DeMar did enter the league's COVID-19 health and safety protocols. Also, huge shout out to DeMar. He was the NBA's player of the week. You know, he's been balling, averaging 30, and the Bulls obviously went 3-0. You know, he didn't play last night versus Denver, but it's unclear how long he will be out for the Chicago Bulls as the time I'm recording this video. DeMar will need to show 2 consecutive negative tests in 24 hours or be isolated for at least 10 days. So it's pretty much the same situation Vooch went through and that Coby and Javonte are going through right now as well. Hopefully this is just a false positive, but Bobby Martz of ESPN did say, but if DeMar DeRozan does in fact test positive for COVID, Chicago would be eligible to apply for a hardship exception and sign a 16th player to this roster. You know, the Bulls, honestly, even though they have started this season really well, they've dealt with a lot of injuries and the whole COVID protocol stuff. You know, Patrick's obviously out for a while. Coby, Javonte, and DeMar are now all in the COVID protocol. So if DeMar does test positive, it wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did sign a 16th player. Hopefully it's just a false positive and DeMar's back next game or soon, I'd say. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about that whole situation. And speaking of the Chicago Bulls maybe signing a 6th player, you know, just the other day, huge shout out to Daniel Greenberg for putting this tweet out. Iman Shumpert was talking to ABC, and then he said he wants to play in the NBA again. You know, he wants to make a return to the NBA, and he would love to play for the Chicago Bulls. Iman Shumpert said, I'm always available for the Chicago Bulls. You know, he is from Chicago, so that's definitely cool. I saw some Bulls fans talking about this whole situation on Twitter and Facebook, and he hasn't played in the NBA this season. You know, he last played in 2020 with the Nets. He only played 2 games. You know, for the past 2 seasons, he was with the Nets. In 2020, he only played 2 games, and in 2019, he only played 13 games. You know, he was the 17th overall draft pick back in 2011. He did win a championship with the Cavs in 2016, and I saw he just won Dancing with the Stars. He is only 31 years old. That did surprise me when I saw that. I thought he was much older. He is a 6'5", I'd say shooting guard or small forward. Throughout his whole NBA career, he's just been a very solid veteran. You know, he knows how to win. He's won a championship. You know, in 461 games played in about 25 minutes a night, his career averages are 7 points per game, shooting 39% from the field, 34% from 3, averaging about 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block a game as well. You know, I definitely think it's cool he wants to play for the Chicago Bulls since he is in Chicago. He said it would be a dream for him to return to the NBA and play with us, but I just don't really see a need in him. I feel like if the Bulls do ever add someone, even if, you know, DeMar, say he does test positive or whatever, and the Bulls can sign a 16th player, I feel like it wouldn't be him. I feel like there's just better options on the free agent market, and I feel like if the Bulls do make a move for anyone, it's going to be for, I'd say, a starting power forward, or I'd say a backup 4, a backup 5. I feel like the Bulls are pretty wing heavy right now, even with all the injuries and COVID stuff going on. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about all the topics I talked about in today's video and last night's huge W versus the Denver Nuggets. Thank you guys for all the love on my last video and the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.